Hello once again, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to YouTube. I am your host, Whale Cow, and together with my co-host, Elliot Ness.
Really? Whatever. Greetings and salutations.
We are about to bring the hammer down, known as the speakeasy of We're Doing Terrible Still.
Sounds about right.
One day we will be untouchable, but for now, we are Predator.
And thus we are terrible.
Alright. Speaking of terrible, we'd better start with swapping out our pit crews.
Yeah.
Alright.
Well, no, our pit crew is doing pretty well. At least they haven't made any mistakes in the last couple of races.
Yeah. Looking at the percentage of mistake, we need to swap out Pearson, Kane, and Rethel.
Let's swap Kane with Woodall. And let's swap Rethel with Holden. And Pearson with Holiday.
Alright. You also want to swap Horsted out with someone?
Yeah, let's swap Horsted with Franken. Improved mistake chance and improved forward jack.
Well, how about Odom? He's got less mistake chance on him.
Yeah, sure. I'll take 1 point loss for 0.3% mistake chance.
Alright, so unless we want to swap out Lacal, we're looking at 2.5% mistake chance.
Yeah. I mean, we could swap out Lacal for Franken, but that's losing 1 point of rear jack for gaining 0.2% mistake chance, which is not going to improve much overall, so I don't think it's worth it.
Alright, so we stick with this and hope that these guys can last the last 2 races.
Yep.
Alright, and the car's still being repaired.
Yep.
You want to see about designing a new gearbox? Although that'll put us in debt.
That'll put us right back in debt. It'll put us so much in debt that we'll be just barely out of the red following the next race. Let's look at our current gearboxes and see how much they can improve.
Alright.
Because, and then look at how much the... Alright, one's...
Gearbox, the good gearbox is 40 out of 65, and the average gearbox is 40 out of 45.
Okay. So let's look at design new parts, click on gearbox, and let's see how high we could get it, and whether or not we think we could actually get it above 65 in a reasonable time frame. Because we also have to worry about upgrading the engine that we built for ourselves.
Alright, well let's take a look at what we can do with this. We could build one that's 73 out of 120 with reliability 40%, a lower red zone, but it would be a risk level low.
We don't care about the risk level and the reliability because this is a part just so that we have better parts next season.
Right.
But, okay, that is better. So I guess the question is, are we going to improve our current parts at all anymore? Is what it comes down to.
I think there will be a little bit of time to do so before the next race, but we want to get on improving the stuff for next season. Also, this build will cost us $1,250,000, so we should wait until after the next race.
Yeah. I was gonna say we might just want to abandon ship on our current parts and just focus on upgrading the parts we're going to use next season so that they're at max performance.
Maybe.
Right. Like, do we honestly think we're going to improve our position beyond 10th place? The answer is no. We're down, what, 30 something points?
Yeah.
All right, yeah. There's 3 races left. We're not going to gain 30 points, 10 points a race on Dragon. We just can't do that.
So, yeah, I guess
we should only focus on upgrading the better parts for next year. So that I guess what it comes down to is which parts are we going to build new versions of?
Well, we've already got the engine.
We've got an engine.
The gearbox.
Yeah, ideally we want a gearbox, brakes, and suspension, but will be able to afford and upgrade all of those becomes the question.
Suspension's already pretty decent. Our highest is 72.
Is that out of 72 or out of 72?
Out of 72. Okay. Brakes.
How much higher could we get it? Let's look at brakes, and then brakes are 20 out of 40. Okay. How much higher could we get suspension and brakes? Becomes the question. Gearbox, we know we can get much higher, so we're probably going to build a gearbox. Then it's a question of which do we do next, brakes or suspension?
The suspension that we have is already at its max, 72 out of 72, so we definitely want brakes.
Yeah.
Brakes and gearbox.
Yeah, so let's do gearbox next. Let's look at brakes and see how much we can improve it by if we build the best part we can. And then let's take a look at suspension just as in case we have enough money and some extra time.
Alright, let's see. If we made the time to develop them, we could get them up to 33 out of 85. If we didn't have time to develop them, we could take the deceleration and reliability up and make it 43 out of 70.
Because we have a terrible factory, it's probably for the best to go 43 out of 70. Take that extra 10 points.
Right.
When the time comes, I guess we'll have a better idea of how fast we're improving things when we actually build the brakes, because we're going to build the gearbox first, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's look at suspension just to see how much we can, whether or not that can actually be improved beyond the 72 to any reasonable extent.
Alright. Let's see. If we went for mostly the straight bonuses, we could get it up to 91 out of 98.
Take the risk level average one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stupid lag.
Yeah, if we took the max one, then we could get it up to 81 out of 128.
All right. If we have the money and we think time to actually reach that level, that would be worth it. But let's do that last, because our suspension is currently the best of our parts that we haven't upgraded to a third one.
Alright.
So, for the moment, we're going to leave everything empty and just focus on the engine once the time comes, yeah?
Yeah.
Just engine performance for the engine that we built for ourselves.
Yep. The car is ready to be improved now.
Excellent. So let's throw all of our engineering crew into performance and upgrade our new engine.
Alright.
Our new very illegal engine.
Yep.
And we may as well just drop two of Evans's parts into reliability, just so that they're less likely to run into problems.
I want to drop Evans's brakes and suspension in there, because the suspension was looking weak towards where he crashed last race.
Okay. Gotcha.
Alright,
0.1% per day.
Yep.
Which means they'll both go up 2% and a little bit more
Hooray.
before the race. Hooray!
Alright,
And the engine will be finished being upgraded 4 days after the race. That's nice.
Yep.
Well, it means that we'll have it completely done and ready for next year, and be ready to start on our new part come.
Meanwhile, we'll
the
completely
race is done.
abandon our current parts and just hope they hold together till the end of the season. The goal is to cross the finish line.
Yeah. Well, our current engines are as high as they can go. We sacrificed their potential performance way back in the beginning. Our suspension is maxed out.
But we knew we were gonna do this stuff at the end.
Yep. Alright. So now just while away the hours until we get things like scouting reports and potential dilemmas and
our
whatever.
Sponsors are all full up. So let's just move on.
Yep. Onwards.
An interview request.
Oh dear.
Oh boy, it's a dilemma too. Hi, we'd like to take some of William Evans's time for an interview. Is that okay? We'll reimburse you for the time we use naturally.
We're ditching him at the end of the year anyway. We'll take the money.
We'll just lock him in a room with like 4 reporters, and all of them answer the same ask the same question at the same time. William Evans, why are you so terrible?
Yeah. Money. Give it now.
Money.
We're gonna get all the money we can out of Evans before we kick him to the curb.
Yep. And he's still at like 30% morale.
Yeah.
Alright. Moving on. Okay. Scouting report's finished. Alex Rogers, 16th is where he'll probably finish this season. He's okay. He's 200,000 a race. He'll be with Archer BMR for the next 3 months.
He's expensive.
Yeah,
more expensive than some people we've seen who are better than him.
Yeah, but he's got a +2 modifier to all the stuff during race. He has, however, joined a cult, which makes everything -1.
But improves his morale by 30.
Yep.
Having his morale that high means he's never going to quit.
He's also
We'd have to pay him so much more to actually get him to leave.
He's also passionate.
Desired earnings Oh, wow. They're paying him 200,000 with the passionate boost?
Apparently,
wow, is he being overpaid?
Yeah, he's definitely being overpaid. And he's a cultist.
We'd never be able to hire him away, though. His morale is much too high.
And he's
he likes
a cultist.
it at Archer. Yeah.
We wouldn't have to hire him away necessarily. We could wait until his contract ran out. But we could
also just convince him that we're also cultists.
Oh yeah, we heard about Zodion. We had lunch with him last Sunday. But no, Shen Qi is about as good as him, but she can go up to 4 stars.
Yeah.
And she's not a cultist, of course.
Potential is the way we need to be going.
Alright, so let's move on, but first let's set up another scouting mission. I'm just looking for anybody who's in our league.
You moused over one in the beginning.
I'm gonna do Peter Young from Archer.
Gotcha.
Alright, onward.
Onwards and upwards.
Asia Pacific Super Cup is running
Huzzah!
Rio de Janeiro circuit.
The person who came in first has a dodgy neck. That's rather impressive.
You could say that in order to win, they had to go at breakneck speeds.
Really?
you knew it was coming. It had to happen. Alright, and then we've got Vancouver.
And the person who came in third also has a dodgy neck.
Alright, we got a whole bunch of mail. Darren Luff is happy that we're bang on our original target of 10th place. A report on the upcoming race. It's a 15-lap race. Lap length is 3.08 miles. 10% chance of rain, but you know that means there's going to be a blizzard on the track.
Yeah, we know how far to trust our weather reports when we haven't built a forecast center.
Scouting report on Aurélie Dembele. She's expected to end in 16th. I think she's recovered from her burns earlier this season.
Yeah. There's two people expected to end in 16th. Wonder how that's gonna go for them.
Yeah. She's got some nice morale and marketability bonuses, and her desired earnings is down 100,000, but they're still paying her 311,000.
She has zero potential for improvement, though.
Yeah.
Not worth it.
One thing I don't like is in the career history, they don't show you what her history of earnings have been. So you kind of need to pay attention to what their earnings are before their contract runs out.
Yeah.
Alright, some dudes who we don't know is retiring at 38 at the end of this season.
Oh no, whatever shall we do?
Alright, Evans is complaining that her brakes are too weak. You won't have to worry about that for much longer, buddy.
Yes, don't worry. We will solve the problem of you being unhappy with our brakes. we shall instead have someone else to be unhappy with our brakes.
Otherwise known as we will soon be done having the problem of you.
Exactly.
Alright, and it's Tondela is the next race, and this is the roundup for it. Garuda's expected to play well. Claudia Dreyfus from Octane is wanting to get in there. It's time to go. Alright. We've been consistently getting 17th when our bonus is at 16th place.
Yeah. And when we aimed for 9th, we managed to get 10th that one time.
It's brutal, I tell you what. Alright, looks like we're ready to go then.
Indeed. Onwards.
God save the Queen.
We're not racing in England, that was last time.
Well, it didn't work then either. Let's just set a screenshot for the YouTube thumbnail.
And practice time.
Yep.
And so we bid farewell to our lovely audience.
Yep. Or our strong masculine audience, whichever they prefer to consider themselves.
Indeed.
Yep. Until next time, this has been a Whale Cow.
And I do not remember what you decided to call me this time around. Whatever.
Elliot Ness.
Signing off.